Hello and welcome to Survive the Unexpected. And wow, what an episode we got today. Survivor 42, episode 11 was definitely a banger. I think this season's been really good. But before we start going, please give us a like, subscribe. It would mean a lot to us. We're on Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, YouTube. It would mean a lot. Join our Facebook group. Be awesome. But I really enjoyed the episode. What did you guys think?
So I would say, like, I knew it was going to be spicy because the way last week ended, and then we have basically 4 huge threats: Mike, Marianne, not even Marianne. Like, she's a great player, but she wasn't even considered in the threat. So Mike, Jonathan, Lindsay, and Omar. So I'm like, one of these people are going to go home at Final 6. There's a lot of idols involved. We didn't see any idols played. We just saw a
advantage play, except for Marianne's extra vote.
Yeah, she used it better than anyone ever has. So, I mean, yeah, great episode. We still got a great crew left. I'm sad Omar went because that's what I was rooting for. But, I mean, we still, that's what happens. Like, he kind of laid low for a little bit and was making so many good moves, but I think his move the last episode solidified how good of a game he was playing, and Marianne made her move tonight, and she basically single-handedly got him out. And yeah, very, very interesting episode, I think.
Single-handedly. She literally knew the plan from both sides, which is what any good Survivor player would do. They would just pick whatever side benefits them the most. And she said, nah, I'm not going to go with either of the sides. I'm literally going to do my own thing. And she did. And it worked. And
with the extra vote, she could do that. And it worked out. Yeah, it worked out. But I think that was maybe the best usage of the extra vote we've seen.
Oh, it was easily the best usage.
A lot of time it hasn't mattered. Or pretty much every time, yeah.
This is the first time they actually changed the outcome of a vote. Ricard and Shan used it last season, the split, but it didn't matter. It didn't change the outcome of the vote. But this season, this is the first time that someone used the extra vote and it actually changed the outcome of the vote, which is awesome. It was. There's just so much to unpack in this episode. We're just gonna look. We'll just start right with it. Do you if you have an idol that expires at 6, your number one ally is vulnerable,
and you win immunity.
And you win immunity. Why do you not save your number one ally?
I do not understand that.
Is as good of a game as I think Lindsay has played, and I think totally respect her game, but tonight. She really fucked up, and that's going to cost her, I think, because she literally, you saw how distraught she was on her face, and she even said, before, when they're still at the beach, I am maybe not even going to use the idol, just, not, put a target or anything, even though she had immunity.
Oh, it's Final 6. Who cares what your target is now?
Yeah. If you're,
fire making.
If Omar was her ride or die, she made it sound if you win immunity, you use an idol on him, even if you don't think he's that vulnerable, which obviously she didn't think he was at all, but he was. So at least play it safe a little bit. At that point, it's there's only 2 or 3 people who could even go home. So I mean,
there's no downside.
That's a down
using the idol.
Down strike for me for Lindsay.
Yeah. There's no downside to using the idol. For one, it's
that
another
expired.
thing. Yeah, it expires. It shows another move for you in front of the jury, which is always good. You're saving Omar. And on top of that, if she did save Omar, she actually saved Omar. She would have saved him in front of the whole jury.
Yeah.
That would have been an awesome move. She just won immunity. and she saved her number one ally. And then guess what? Guess who's gonna be the target next round? It's gonna
Lindsay.
be Omer still. It's not even gonna be Lindsay because Omer's still around. They're gonna want to get Omer out.
Oh, you're saying if he was still, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So there's no downside.
But now she's probably gonna be targeted next. Yeah.
It's either her or Jonathan.
He's still relying too heavy on Jonathan's threat level, and he has not won. He's only won one individual immunity, hasn't he? Or two individual immunities.
He's won 2. Tori's won 2, and Lindsay's won 2.
Yeah. No one else has won a thing. But I mean,
no one else is going to.
No, I will say Jonathan's one immunity was just him versus Lindsay, though. So
that's true.
I don't think he's like as like dominant as like people would have thought he would be in challenges because they do different stuff. So I mean,
yeah,
it's hard to just be like that good at one thing. But
at
I
that
mean,
point, why wouldn't you go ahead and vote for Omar, and then just use your idol? Your vote would you wouldn't have no bad blood on you.
But I also think the people left aren't scared to take Jonathan to the end because they know. Like, I think Mike beats him. I think Lindsay beats him, and I think Marianne beats him. So
I'm really surprised that Marianne broke up that Taku 4, and I'm really surprised that the theme
that was a good move for her.
The downfall of that tribe because they've stuck together this whole time and haven't. And finally, the lines were drawn on that tribe tonight with Lindsay voting for Jonathan.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, I knew that was gonna come for a while because they've kind of been foreshadowing that. They're like, Lindsay's been waiting to turn on Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for a while.
No, I just look at it like this: that this is the best move we've seen since Tony did the split vote.
Sophie out. The Sophie vote.
Or yeah, Sophie out. Sorry, not Kim.
Yeah, that was. Oh my god, that was so good.
And this is it's like that's the level of move that she pulled off, and she did it on her own. It's just so impressive.
It is.
I think she for sure.
She did at least like Mike. She consulted with people about it, but
but they didn't want to listen to her.
She told Mike. Yeah. She told Mike and Jonathan to vote for Romeo,
and they did.
And they did exactly, and they totally did, and they could have not. They could have voted with. They could have voted with them. They could have voted
Jonathan
or Omar, but they didn't. And Marianne did that on purpose because if say Lindsay went ahead and decided to use her idol against Omar, then he would be safe, and it would still be tied between Romeo and Jonathan on the revote. So Marianne would be safe regardless. So she was a win-win in that situation, no matter if Lindsay played her idol or not. And that was the beautiful.
I'm going to give Marianne a lot of credit, but I also think like for Mike, I know like this was not his move at all, but I think he played it the right way too by listening to Marianne and throwing the votes on Romeo. So I think it's going to come down to Marianne or Mike, really.
Yeah.
One of those two are going to win the game.
Yeah. And from Mike and Jonathan's standpoint, I completely understand why they wanted to stick with Romeo. It only benefits.
Nobody's going to play an idol for Romeo.
Exactly. They would have stayed, and then they would have been able to take out Omar or Lindsay in the next round.
Yep.
And Marianne's like, she literally said in her confessional, I need to pull off a big move so I can prove that I deserve to win this game.
Yeah, then play your fucking idol for him.
Yeah. But the thing is, nobody knows she has the idol.
Do you think Mike that she has the idol
Mike knows.
Mike doesn't know.
She told him.
When?
The beginning. Like, right? She told Mike about the idol, right?
Not Marianne.
No, Mike.
Marianne's the only one that knows about her own idol.
That's what I'm saying.
No. Mike knew about Lindsay's idol.
Yes, Mike's the one that told Marianne. That's what fucked everything up. Yes. Is because Marianne found out that Lindsay, who she's been with since day one,
just got the idol
from the amulet. And didn't tell her, and it hurt her feelings.
I don't know why she's doing the same thing to her.
Well, I think Mike is really good too because Mike isn't the best at like explaining a strategy, which I don't know how he would do against the final three with Marianne, but like he's really good at like getting people to like go against each other based on the information he's heard. Is what I think.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, and also too, think about it. Mike's the one that told Marion about Lindsay's idol. If Mike would have never told Marion about it, then Marion would have never made the move. She wouldn't have known.
Exactly. That's why I think if Mike could defend his game like that good enough, where like he could tell everybody at Final Tribal, like, listen, like I got all the information in this game, and I use it to benefit myself. Where if he says that, like people should believe that because it's true.
It's
but I
true.
mean, Marianne
He's the one who put the bug in Marianne's ear to get Omar out.
Mike got everybody to trust him, like basically the whole, like he's got everybody tell him everything. Is like that's my thing, like my reasoning for thinking Mike's gonna win over Marianne, but I think Marianne could out argue him at like a Final Tribal.
Yeah,
because Mike is like kind of he's kind of like sketchy and like paranoid. I think his Final Tribal wouldn't be as smooth as Marianne. I don't know.
I feel like he's going to be very defensive.
Yeah.
Instead of explaining what he's doing, I think he's going to be very defensive, which could come back to bite him in the butt.
So will Jonathan.
Same with Jonathan. Jonathan will be very defensive.
Yeah.
And he's going to play Oz, the biggest guy here card, and that's not going to fly with the rest of the.
He's going to say that the whole time. So Mike has a better argument than that. It's just like, but I've seen Mike be so paranoid and like wishy-washy where I don't know if his Final Tribal will be like that good. I mean, that's my worry with him. I'm rooting for Mike, but I mean, I do think that his Final Tribal, just based off like the way he talks and stuff, I'm like, I don't know if this guy is like, I feel like he just might have a bad Final Tribal Council that could cost him the game, even though he's played a pretty fucking solid game, I think.
Yeah, I think the front runner was just voted out. I think
Omar obviously. That's who I thought.
It's happened 3 times in a row now. Kai was a front runner of his round, went home.
So it was
Dre, and now Omar. So
yeah, and Dre was voted out with. No, she didn't have an idol at that point. She
played her advantage incorrectly.
Yeah.
Because she had a loud mouth and told everyone about it.
Oh, she only told Omar.
Yeah.
What
did that do for him? Got him voted out next.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I just want to say I told you guys so that they should have voted out Mike last round and just stole his idol. Because they gave it right back.
Now for Omar, that would have been the right move because if he did that, he doesn't have to give back the idol and still has it this round. And
I'm really shocked that after him right away.
I mean, maybe it would have been hard for Omar to survive the final 5 vote, but I mean, yeah, like it would have been a better move for him, but I understand why he did the other thing still, but Mike, he didn't realize how cutthroat Mike is. Because Mike, I'll tell you, Mike is such a good social player, but you've seen him Mike is fucking cutthroat. Like,
yeah,
he has no hesitation to get rid of anybody.
Nope.
Not at all.
But he's still strong enough socially that these people think that that they don't want to get rid of him. How many times has Mike had his name written down so far?
Like by Chanel,
Chanel,
and then Drea, 5. He's a 4 or 5 votes, maybe.
Yeah.
But the fact that they weren't
0 vote.
But they're dumb. Like, why wouldn't they have voted him to maybe because I don't know.
I don't think Marianne's received any votes. Am I wrong? Or
I don't think she got any either. Yeah, that's a huge win for her.
Oh no, maybe she did. No, she did with I think Mariah.
No, she played the shot in the dark though.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
I don't think Marianne's gotten a
vote. Yeah, which is
Omar hadn't gotten one until tonight.
Until that point, yeah. And Lindsay's gotten one stray vote from
Romeo.
From Romeo, and Romeo's gotten a lot of votes. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jonathan's gotten his fair share too. I don't think there was a bad thing about this episode. I enjoyed both challenges.
I loved it.
I really enjoyed the reward he got to pick. He had 2 options. Omar wins the reward. He had 2 options to One would have been like chicken and things like that, which would have been
Right.
awesome at that point.
Better like
Or-
protein, yeah.
Or
But with the
dessert like chocolate.
extra person, though, I mean,
Yeah, with the extra person.
Mhm.
So
I mean,
picked-
don't you want to please the extra person?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he made a mistake by taking Mike. I would have took Lindsay, and I would have made a Final Four with Romeo and Marianne and made sure that was 100% rock solid.
See, I think Lindsay is too smart though to like fall for something like that. I don't know.
No, I think Lindsay would have been all about it because she wants Jonathan and Mike out. Which
I think Lindsay and Omar were stupid for not trying to stay Taku strong and then take each other at the end and make Jonathan and Marianne go at each other for fire making.
No,
That's what they should have done.
Yeah, but all right. So if you're Lindsay though, do you beat Omar? Like so, I mean that's tough for her.
I think in
She
Lindsay's
could.
mind,
I think she
does.
could be. I think she's the only one who could.
I think Omar beats anybody just based on like
Yes.
what I saw.
Right.
What we
Yeah.
saw is like
But I don't know though,
A lot
because you know
comes
that
down to
Dre is
how
not
you
voting
argue
for
your game,
Omar.
but,
You know that
I
Dre
mean-
is not voting for Omar. You know that Mike's not voting for Omar if he gets there.
I don't know even. I don't
Oh,
think this
Lindsay?
jury is that like bitter.
I think the only one who would be quote unquote bitter, I think
Chanel.
no, I think Jonathan could be bitter if he was on the jury.
What about Roxroy?
I think Roxroy doesn't even care.
He's an idiot.
I think he's just
Tori's
there
gonna
for the
be
ride
great
at
in the
that point.
jury.
I think Tori. I think all of them are game players. I think Chanel
Yeah.
is too. I just think she just played poorly.
Yeah.
I think she'd be bitter towards Mike, but nobody else. So, like, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
but Mike kind of did her dirty for like.
he did, but I mean, she's still like to
Yeah.
me on that. Like,
Anyway, it's old news. Let's just keep on. But yeah, Omar takes everybody but Lindsay and Jonathan, and I think Lindsay just had such a bad read on the game itself that she thinks
oh my god,
no one's seen Omar and her be super close, and she's trying to play up to Jonathan, and it really just it showed that she got overconfident this round.
So
Everything was going her way. And
yeah.
I think this is the first time it didn't go her way, and it really put her in perspective of where she's at. And I think she went from being a front runner with Omar to being like, I'm pretty sure she's gonna be out next round.
That move really hurt her.
Yeah,
Really
like
hurt her.
so.
And that
it-
could be why
it-
too that she doesn't have a stellar pre-merge edit
And
because
yeah, and
she
and,
made
like,
this
what-
fucked up move and she's probably gonna be gone next round.
in what
It's
scenario do you guys see her winning? Like what
Yeah.
final three?
Lindsay?
This
Don't know.
move, I don't know.
I think Lindsay would have to win out.
Well, I mean, she get more votes than
Exactly.
Romeo, but even all right. So if it's, I think the only way she could win is if it's her, Romeo, and Jonathan.
I think so too. I think
Marianne and Mike gonna beat her.
I think Marianne for sure. I don't know about Mike. I just think Mike's gonna really have a struggle at final if he gets there.
Well, you think he's gonna have a bad final tribal? Like I said, like
Yeah, I think you're right.
I could, like I said it earlier.
Yeah,
That's what scares me with Mike, but I think Mike has a good game to defend. You know what I mean?
Listen though, Jonathan is smarter than you give him credit for. His
I'm
edit
not saying
tonight,
he's not.
his edit tonight showed like, hey, I know that Omar is going to go coming after me, and he was right because Omar wrote his name down with Lindsay, who used to be his number one ally earlier in this game, and Jonathan knew that read. What makes me mad is when him and Lindsay were on the island together because they didn't go on the reward. He was like, yeah, man, we really need to do something. And then what does he do? He goes and lays down and goes to sleep. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, get up and talk to that girl. It's the only time you're going to have to talk to that girl one-on-one
See, that
without Mike right there. Like, what are you
that
doing?
frustrates me about Jonathan, but
Me
also,
too, man. That really, really upset me when he did that.
I mean, but do you like Frank? You think Mike wouldn't win?
depending on who he's against, I think for him to win, I think it'd be him, Jonathan, and Romeo.
What about
I think he loses to Marianne and Lindsay.
what about Jonathan Lindsay, Romeo.
I think Lindsay wins. I think Jonathan's biggest issue is that the girls are gonna hold it against him the way he talks to them.
Jonathan's not gonna win.
No,
he's not.
And because the way he did the same thing
he's
to
not
Lindsay
going to win.
earlier in the season, where he kind of talked down to her, and you seen her be upset, and he did this episode with Marianne, and she's complained about it earlier in the season. I don't think he has a shot to win at all.
I don't either. No.
Because I don't think the women are gonna appreciate that. And if she's up there with if Marianne's up there with Jonathan, she's gonna say that, and it's gonna make him look really bad. So, I really don't think that he has a chance to win. I think his chance to win left a long time ago.
Yeah. But what do you think? All right, so I'll say a hypothetical final three, which I see as most likely: Mike, Marianne, and Romeo.
I think Marianne wins. I think Mike will get a couple votes.
I think it'd be close though.
Yeah. I don't think
there's going to be a 0-vote finalist this year. I think
Romeo.
Romeo.
I don't know if Romeo will be. I could see a bitter juror voting for Romeo.
No, this jury I don't think is
no
bitter.
Way. There's no way.
I think Romeo has zero chance at anyone's vote.
I think Romeo's going to go down as one of the worst finalists ever.
Yeah.
Well, Romeo probably could lose at fire making too.
Yeah, which would just be like
whoever wins the final immunity is going to take him. I think
they should.
Yeah,
they won't though.
Watch him win.
They didn't take Heather last season.
Yeah, but
Listen, remember this conversation last season when I had this with you guys, and I said no, they're not going to take Heather, and you guys said Amy,
we are.
better. But they won't take that.
Better players this season though.
And on top of that. After hearing all the exit interviews and stuff like that, Heather got a raw edit. She did a lot more out there than we got to see. And so she wasn't quite as big as a goat as we assumed because of what we've seen. Because we heard Erica and many others talk about how much she was doing out there and how her and Heather were like a power duo, and we didn't get to see any of that.
No, we didn't get to see any of that.
To be fair,
so on Shan, and they were so focused on
Ricard and Shan.
Yeah. And to be fair,
who are not friends anymore, by the way. I don't know if you guys
Romeo has gotten shit on by the entire cast pretty much.
Oh, and I mean, so you watch tonight, like the last couple of weeks, he's purpled. Like,
yeah,
his edit is awful.
Yeah.
Like,
and he had such a good pre-merge edit. It seems like from the merge,
he
was like this, and all of a sudden, whoosh,
like he went from like a threat, like
down here,
someone who everyone should like, to like a just total goat, like within like a couple episodes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh,
I don't know. But yeah, we got Lindsay wins immunity, and I like I said, I just can't believe that your idol expires. It could have been an awesome move for you, and she didn't use it. That might be one of the biggest mistakes ever in Survivor.
That's like, all right, so it's not quite James with 2 idols at Final 7 in China,
right?
But it's still like, all right, so your idol's expiring.
Everyone knows you have it.
No, yeah, like you're not. What are you trying to hide your threat level by not playing it? Like, no, play it on someone who you want to go to the end with, which was Omar clearly, and he obviously could have been in danger, and she still like just didn't play. Like, very, very bad move.
And it's just at that point there was more positive than negatives to play.
I get Omar would have beaten her probably, but still, like now her path to the end is like not clear.
Right. Yeah. It's not clear at all. She would have to win out. She had to win out. She had to win next immunity and either win immunity again or fire.
And also, plus, if she just makes a successful idol play on someone else, even if she's not playing on herself, like that's a jury, like enhancer, basically.
Well, I think that's why she didn't play, is because she knew that she didn't tell Marianne and Jonathan about this the whole time, and by playing it, it just certifies that she had this the whole time and didn't tell them, and that could hurt her
I don't think
later.
that should.
That's the only reason why I could see her not doing it.
He should not have been thinking.
No, and to be fair, if the plan went to right, Jonathan would have been voted out anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, true.
So, this is like it's like one of the biggest like dope moves by a really good player.
Why wouldn't you? Everyone knows you have it. It expires. You're already safe.
Like it's like we've seen a lot of like bad players make bad moves, but like this is a first time. This is one of the first times in a while that I've seen like a really good player make a really bad move.
Am I the only one that was like, again, still surprised that like, okay, remember like the family visit reward? That was how many rounds ago? 3 rounds ago?
Yeah.
And you get this round at final 6, and it's cookies and cake. I don't know. I just don't like, I feel like rewards should get bigger as you get farther. You know what I'm saying? Like they start small, they get way better. You get your camp supplies first, and then once it's like food rewards or like travel rewards, you know what I'm saying? Like it needs to like build up as you go, and I feel like it doesn't do that.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, it's I don't know. I'm just excited. I'm excited that we're gonna have a really good final, and I really hope we can just keep on this momentum. Hopefully, nothing dumb happens where it ruins the end game we're gonna see.
Romeo's edit is the only one that's not getting a fair share of light, because we've had Jonathan, who they have shown as, he does know what's going on. They have a great edit on him in the sense of, he understands, he's strategic enough and at least a little bit social enough to be in the loop. And then with Mike, he's been a social god from the beginning. You have a great edit on him and him putting that bug in Marianne's ear. Then you have Marianne, who did her moves tonight. Then you have Lindsay, who's been a front runner the past couple episodes as well. So it's like, it's nice to have a final 5 where 4 out of the 5, 80% of the contenders left could win. And all of us would be happy with any 4 of those people winning. And how many seasons can we honestly say that? Not very many.
Yeah. Nope. I would say Jonathan would be a little bit deflating, but it wouldn't be as bad as.
So. I think Jonathan as a winner would grow on people.
But I don't like he's not winning. I don't think either. Yeah. So
I don't think so. I think the only way
it's either it's gonna be Mike, Marianne, or Lindsay, one of them 3, and I would be tight with like either of them any of them winning. But I mean, it's like I'm saying this has been a like very good season. I would say I wouldn't say top 10 might be pushing it because we've had 42 seasons now, but it's like at least top 15.
Top 12, yeah.
Like top 15, top 12, because I mean, like some of the twist shit is like rubs people the wrong way. It would be top 10 for me if that didn't like apply, but it also didn't really like screw the game over or anything. So I mean, I think
it's easy to say.
If we went home on the do or die, then it would not be a top.
Yeah, 12. I mean, yeah, I'm just glad no one ever got screwed by that, which makes me wonder too. But I mean, yeah,
it's definitely when we talked about it being a like an all-time cast, a newbie cast. I think you can easily put it in the top 10 of newbies cast of all time.
Yeah,
from top to bottom. I don't know if there's going to be quite a big legends from this season, like Boston Rob from Marquesas, Suri from Panama. Just like there's other legendary figures in other seasons. I don't know if we're gonna get that, but from top to bottom, there's only been 2 to 3 that are just been like, get out of here, which is just refreshing to see.
David vs. Goliath. Mm-hmm. I feel like similar vibes to that season,
right.
Basically. Yeah,
right. I
really like everybody. I don't know if I'm going to get the winner that I wanted to root for the most that's going to win. But, I very fucking good season.
I'd be happy with Lindsay as a winner.
I'd be happy with Lindsay, Marianne, or Mike. But at this point, now that I'm rooting for Mike, really. And
Me too.
if he doesn't win, like that's who I'm really rooting for. But I wouldn't be totally upset with the other winners. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's I think I really think that it's Marianne's to lose at this point. She has
I've been saying that too, like just her early edit, and then like recently kind of like coming along, and then tonight the move she put off. Like I think
it's one of the most impressive moves we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then she did it all on her own because Jonathan and Mike didn't want to do it. And the correct move was what happened, but it wasn't because Mike and Jonathan thought it was the correct move. They just did it because they wanted to be safe.
They did it because they thought Lacey was going to play her idol on him. So they
made her own move, which is super impressive too.
Right. So who do you think is the most likely outcome for a final three at this point?
I say so. So I'll say if Jonathan wins immunity next, or Lindsay, but I'll say Jonathan wins. Lindsay's out next. Then Jonathan wins final immunity, takes Romeo, and then it's between Marianne and Mike for fire.
Whoever wins that wins the season.
Wins the game, yeah. So I'm gonna say like a Mike, Jonathan, Romeo final three, or a Marianne, Jonathan, Romeo final three. And whoever wins that fire is probably gonna win.
What about you, Amanda?
I think I disagree. I think it's gonna be Marianne and Mike are gonna stay together as an alliance. They're gonna be rocking together now. Lindsay, after doing that move, I just don't see her. If she doesn't win immunity next, I could see her going. And Romeo voted with Marianne this last round, so I could see him kind of being the third there. I really think that Jonathan and Romeo are going to go each other against fire, and Jonathan's going to decimate Romeo, and that's going to be the end of Romeo's story. And then Jonathan, Mike, and Marianne are going to be the final three.
And that'll be a good
finalist.
So who wins that final three in your
Marianne.
Okay.
But close. I could see Marianne winning over a close vote over Mike.
I just think like, all right, so Marianne, I like her. I would not be like anything against her as winner, but I think she's more recently came along, and she also had like a lot of numbers that merged. Like I think Mike, he came in the tribe where his like original tribe got picked off. There was like only 3 of them at merge, and then Lydia got picked off that boot. Then High got picked off, like he wanted to get rid of High, whatever. But I just think that Mike has such a good social connection with like everybody.
And strategic too, like I said earlier, he's the one who put that bug in Marianne's ear about Lindsay. Not only telling her about Lindsay's idol, but he also told her, we need to go after Omar. That name first came out of Mike's mouth tonight, at least in the edit.
That was Marianne's move tonight, but Mike also did have like a hand in that.
Mike's the one.
You saw him immediately. He wanted to get rid of Omar, like even after Omar basically saved his ass the last round. Mm-hmm. Mike is strategic enough to know, like, I got to get rid of this guy if I want to win. So and he was thinking that way.
I really hope that Marianne can deliver a final tribal council. That's also something I'm worried about. Is her
I'm worried about Mike.
Excited.
I'm more worried about Mike's final travel because I just think he's kind of just like a all over the place like talker.
I don't think so. I think if Mike talks slow and is focused and can speak to an audience, I think he'll be okay.
So this is what I think is going to happen. I think Lindsay's out next round. I think Jonathan's going to win immunity, and Lindsay will be out.
One of them will be out.
Yeah, Jonathan or Lindsay are going out next round.
Yeah.
Then at Final Four, I just feel like Marianne's going to pull something on her butt and win immunity and put Mike and Jonathan against each other in fire.
Oh, that would be amazing.
And then the jury will see that as such empowerment.
Yeah, if Marianne goes with Jonathan and Romeo, she's definitely gonna win.
I think it'd be almost a clean sweep.
Yeah. But I'm saying, all right, so if she did that and Mike beats Jonathan in fire, Marianne, Romeo, and Mike. I mean,
I think it's gonna be Jonathan, Marianne, and Romeo. That's my prediction for final.
Okay.
Four.
So you think Mike's destiny is fire making?
I think Mike's destiny is to lose in fire making,
and that he do you think he played a great game?
I think he played a really good game. I think he made a few mistakes here or there.
He definitely did.
But everybody in this cast did.
Yeah.
Which isn't saying they're bad players. It's
just because they're
when you're playing
players,
when
you
you're playing
really, game every time.
Yeah, when you play with really good players, it's easy to make mistakes.
Yeah.
So I think he played a really good game. I just think when it came down to it, he betrayed a lot of people, and he was very self-righteous about it. And I think if he got to final tribal somehow, he would be on the defensive / offensive when
that's what I'm worried about with Mike if he
and instead of being like, hey, I did this because it was benefit to my game, he'd be like, I feel like he's gonna be reeling in it. I did this to you.
Yeah. That's what I really think. So now that Omer's I think Marianne might be winning this season. Or
crazy.
Even if Marianne goes, Lindsay is there without Marianne. Yeah, I can see that too.
I think we're gonna have a back-to-back female winner.
Yeah,
which is the first time we've has happened since
years.
Sophie and Kim.
Yeah,
that was
like 10 years. Yeah,
20s in the 20s.
Yeah, and that was like the bad stretch of Survivor too. Even though they're both great winners. Yeah.
Sophie grew on me, especially in Winners of War.
Oh my god, I love Sophie.
Yeah,
and Kim's one of the best winners ever.
It's not her fault she dominated a season. It was a boring season.
Hey, listen, Marianne got Romeo to vote with her out of that 6. Like that's not monumental. It'd be different if she got Mike to do it.
Marianne might be the winner, and I've said that for like weeks. I swear, I'd be totally okay with that.
Yeah, and I don't I just feel like I feel like Lindsay has the better game overall, and I feel like maybe Mike might have it though, but I think Marianne has the best move out of the entire cast,
the best
which will
to be honest,
sway the jury.
Out of the 3, I think Mike has the best game, then Marianne, then Lindsay, but they've all played good games. But I just think Marianne is going to argue her game really well at the. I don't know. I just like the way she speaks. I don't know.
Speaks with passion and
I think Mike. Yeah. I think Mike kind of would be more not people who are a little bitter towards him. I don't know how his answers would be for them. So that's where I'm worried about with Mike. I'm I don't I just don't know how his final tribal would be.
Yeah. You know what I'm worried about is the Facebook Survivor community once Jonathan makes it to the end and gets 0 to 1 votes.
I know.
That's what I'm terrified to see. Xander all over again. He should have won.
No. All right. So I will looking back.
A terrible final tribal.
I like Xander, but I don't think he played some great game or anything.
No, definitely.
Jonathan
is better than Xander in my eyes.
Yes, Jonathan definitely better than Xander.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm gonna let you guys go and let you guys finish it out because I have to go to bed. Okay.
All
right.
Talk to you guys later.
All right. Good night, Amanda.
Good night. Thanks.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, that's pretty much it. We're excited for this. Is probably the most exciting end game we've had since David versus Goliath, because I really like Winners at War, but at I think 6 or 7, you're like Tony's winning.
Oh yeah. All right. So definitely at that point,
Once he got rid of Sophie, it was like he's winning.
I was like, all right, like my guy. So crazy thing is, like going into that game, I was in like some fantasy like drafts and stuff. I had like Michelle and Jeremy because of my picks.
Yeah.
And like I knew they were gonna make merge probably and go far. But I'm like, all right, still with all this going on, Tony's still my favorite player of all time. I'm rooting for him, but he's got no fucking chance.
There's no way he's winning.
Once he got to once that so where Denise played the idols and didn't vote for Tony and voted for Sandra instead, I was like, all right, Tony might have a shot. Maybe he'll make it past a few merge boots, and then once like a few merge boots went, he still like laid under the radar. Then he just got that momentum, and I was like, oh, that was like Tony just played like amazing game that season.
Yeah, I
was never expecting him to win.
No, it's one of the craziest things that I did a couple Survivor drafts. I wanted no business picking Tony. I thought
neither did I. Yeah.
So, this is definitely the most exciting end game since David versus Goliath.
Yeah, because like you said, Winners at War, we
knew Tony was winning.
Yeah,
I was okay, but like the damn thing, sunk that.
Yeah,
Edge of Distinction won, and I just couldn't stand that.
Yeah, well, I was rooting for Devins or Victoria,
and neither one of them got that.
Yeah, and Chris won. Yeah, like fuck that shit.
So yeah, I think this is easily the best end game since David vs. Goliath, because we got at that point you could have seen a couple people winning and David vs. Goliath at 5. I think Angelina had no chance to winning, even though we personally love Angelina as a character. But other than that, I think Mike had a chance. Nick had a chance. I think Davey was still in at 5.
Yeah, he was. He was fit,
yeah. So Davey,
he was the front runner, really.
Yes. So like we had a really exciting finale. I feel like we're going to get another exciting finale this time around. And I think the only real outcome that could really damper this season is Romeo's win. If Romeo wins.
So Romeo is going to get 0 votes.
Yeah.
But I think the whatever other two sit next to him, whether it's like Jonathan, Lindsay, Mike, or Marianne, like any combination of those two, their votes could be close. So I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see.
But I mean, we're almost certain Romeo is going to be the GOAT. Like he's not going before Final 3 at this point.
He's not. I'm sorry.
No. But it would have been tonight because just of advantages getting played. Like Mike and Jonathan just threw votes on him.
Right.
Yeah, but
I agree. No, so that pretty much does it for this. I mean, it was a stellar episode. I think almost almost like a perfect episode for Survivor. You got good challenges good challenges that didn't last too long. You had a good reward, and you had like a good they had to choose. I love people choosing things for the reward. And you had a blindside, and you've seen somebody do something we've never seen before. So this is what I would say is pretty much a perfect Survivor episode.
Incredible episode.
Yeah.
And this season, yeah.
This is obviously not the best episode ever, but for Survivor, this is what you want out of a Survivor episode.
So the final 6, yeah.
Yes. You won't want that person for sure was going home. They didn't have no chance. So we are going to be finishing Marquesas here in the next day or so. And then we're going to do Big Brother 3. I'm very excited. I really love Big Brother 3.
And we'll do the finale.
Yeah.
Next week. Yeah.
Yeah. Finale next week. So a lot's coming out.
We'll have some guests on for that, probably.
Yeah. So, so be out the lookout for the finale of Marquesas, and we'll be here next week for the finale of Survivor 42. What'd you guys think of the episode? Did you guys like as much as we did? I personally loved it. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you guys for watching. If you can give us a like, subscribe, follow us any of our platforms, we really appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.